I think marriage has legalized slavery.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Say more, because if I'm thinking about slavery and I'm thinking about marriage, there are two different images that come into my
Absolutely
head.
not. I don't know how you don't. A man is, especially if he's expecting you to be a trad wife, he might as well pull out a whip and a chain.
Wow. So there are young people watching who might be wanting to get married. What would you say to them?
Don't.
Don't get married.
No.
Okay.
I'm excited to be an adult. You got any advice for me? Son, my biggest advice would be find a good woman. Treat her right and keep her by your side. Because life without a good woman is just, it ain't a life worth living. Grandma, I'm an adult. That's nice. Do you have any advice for me? Anything you think I should know?
Don't get married.
What?
Don't ever get married. Please don't get married. God, please, if I can help it at all, please, God, please don't get married. If it's the last thing you do, look at me, listen to me. Do not ever marry a man. Don't even talk to them. Don't date them. Don't waste any time on them. Please, I'm begging you. Heed my warning. Heed my warning. Beware.
Are you dating a man right now? Yeah. Get rid of it. There's still time. No kids? You still have time. I know somebody who can help you make it look like an accident.
Stay away from all men.
See now what you've done. See what you've become. Know that I see right through it.
So Leslie Jones is out here saying that she believes that marriage is slavery, and she has the pick-me's and the male-centered women, and she has their panties in a bunch, y'all. Like, even though this is a fact, the reason that marriage was created was to pass women along from their fathers to their husbands to be slaves. This is a known fact. If you know history, it's a fact. In the Bible, they were slaves. If you ask most older women what they regret the most in life, they will tell you, I regret that I got married. I got married to the wrong man. Most older women, a lot of older women will say they married the wrong man, and when they got divorced, they never got married again.
What advice would you give your younger self?
To never marry. To never marry.
I don't know one single woman that would get married again. I personally don't know one single woman that would do it. I know men that would do it.
Will never marry again. Ever. And I'm not even interested in dating at all.
Do not get married. Do not. If you want partnership, that's fine. If you want to be in a commitment, that is fine. If you want to have children, that's fantastic. Do not get married.
Or even the ones who got married like 2 and 3 times and divorced 2 and 3 times said that they regretted all 2 or 3 marriages. Like, if you ask most women today who have been married and divorced, even if they're not older, they will say, I'm never getting married again. But everybody is coming out against her and windmilling like she's just wrong. So that is why this video had to be made, because we have to combat the lies as women. And that's what I'm going to do today. And that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. And that's what I'm going to do until I die, or until they stop me from talking. Because we can't sit up here and say that she's lying. And if you talk to most women who have been married, the ones that know better, they will tell the truth. The ones that are in marriages right now will tell you, don't get married.
If marriage was beneficial for women, they would have taken it away from us.
Or at least don't get married and have kids until you're 30, because they know that women change a lot. They know that it's hard on them when they have kids, and then they're in these marriages and they have to go to work because of the way this patriarchy is set up. They know that if they want to go to school and go to work and be a wife, that is so hard on women. It's hard on your body, it's hard on your mental, it's hard on everything when you have to raise a family in this patriarchy and this capitalistic system. So the ones who are looking at her like she's crazy, most of the time have never been married, or either they're just a man. a man who benefits from marriage, because stats are showing that men benefit more from marriage than women do. Even though they think women take all of their money after they get divorced, most of them don't have money. And the ones that do have money is because their wives were at home taking care of the kids while they went out and they made their careers happen and grow. They were able to chase their dreams in the bag because the woman was like not smart enough to know that if I stay home and raise these kids, I'm not going to have nothing, and I don't need to be dependent on this man while he gains everything and I'm losing everything, basically. So there's a lot of women out here who are talking about this, but sadly I'm seeing with the responses from women that a lot of women are not waking up. So let's talk about it some more. Let's keep sharing these videos, and hopefully there'll be some women out there who won't have to live and learn. Hopefully it'll be some smart and wise women who will just listen and observe the women around them and the women that are talking about their marriages online. Hopefully those will be the wise ones who won't get trapped in slavery. What Leslie was saying, people don't naturally want to just be with one person for the rest of their lives. That had to be engineered, and we know that people don't naturally want to be with one person for the rest of their lives because men are cheating on these women left and right, and women are also cheating, but not at the same numbers. And we know this also because women are divorcing these men at a 70+% rate. And it's not because they don't want to be with these men. A lot of the time these women are not divorcing these men because they don't want to be with them. It's because they expect a slave when they get married. They expect for women to cook, clean, have sex, take the kids to daycare, do the homework, go to work, be the mommy, be the nurse, be the psychiatrist, be the doctor when the kids are sick, make doctor's appointments. Women are exhausted. And even though women are doing all this, women have been trying their best to stay with these men because this is what they've been taught that they're supposed to do. While the man goes to work and comes home and sits down and enjoys himself and his hobbies. If he works. Some of them come home and don't even work. They'll just come home and do that anyway. And women, especially black women, have still been serving them like they have been going out and being providers and doing what they're supposed to do. But let me shut up and let's get into these videos, and I'll be in and out with my commentary.
Man, I've always loved Leslie Jones, but look how fucking base this clip is.
Marriage is legalized slavery.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Say more, because if I'm thinking about slavery and I'm thinking about marriage, there are two different images that come into my
Absolutely
head.
not. I don't know how you don't. A man is, especially if he's expecting you to be a trad wife, he might as well pull out a whip and a chain.
Wow. So there are young people watching who might be wanting to get married. What would you say to them?
Don't.
Don't get married.
No.
Okay.
Oh God, you are crazy.
How am I crazy?
You are crazy.
You're saying that marriage is
No, I don't believe in the marriage. No, I don't.
So you wouldn't get married?
No, and I don't think it's beneficial for a woman at all.
And call me fucked up, but I say the same fucking thing to my kids. I say the same thing to any young person that I get to talk to. Don't get married. Don't fucking do it. It's a trap. It's a trap.
Old hoes telling young hoes the wrong information and encouraging them to be hoes. Now, if you don't know about this shit, what the hell you talking about? That's like me talking about weight loss. I'm not in this motherfucker selling y'all niggas goddamn weight loss courses and shit. Obviously, I'm not good at it. So if you never been married, nigga never liked you, nigga never dated you, never took you out for Applebee's 2 for $30, then why the hell is you talking about marriage? Nobody want to marry your ass. You over here telling these girls the goddamn what not to do like you done did it. Legalized slavery. The makeup is a slave to your face because it's trying to run away from it.
Okay.
Shit, Leslie Jones. You funny as hell, but you goddamn delusional.
I think marriage is legalized slavery.
No, it's okay. You can talk shit about me. I don't care. You still look. She's a...
So if you follow me or channels similar to mine, if you actually listen to women, if you actually pay attention to what's going on with women globally in these marriages, how women are being sold, women and girls are being sold into slavery, into marriages, especially young girls. In a lot of countries, they are selling girls as young as 6, 7, or 8 to old men to marry them. So marriage really is slavery. Globally, it shows up differently here in America because our freedoms were given back to us. Men took them, but in order for them to look like they were like heroes or something, they gave us a little bit of freedom back when we started to kick up some dust and feminism started rising. Feminism always rises. And when feminism rises, you're going to see the men start to do like a witch hunt on women, which is what we're seeing now. We're seeing a rise in feminism. You'll see like the Salem witch trials where they're going to literally start trying to take us out. They are already trying to make laws to take women out for having abortions, which are illegal in a lot of states now, but they're wanting to take women out for having miscarriages, which a lot of y'all know has nothing to do with us. It's nothing that we did to cause it. A lot of the times, I have mentioned this before, that it is the male sperm that is causing most miscarriages. So think about that. Their sperm is something that causes us to miscarry their children, and they want to take us out for it. Think about that, or either lock us up for it. Think about it now.
This is why these bitch ass men are out here complaining. Your idea of family is slave labor for women. This is what our idea of family is. We're the reproductive labor of women. The household labor of women goes invisible, unrespected, and unsupported. This is why these bitch ass men are out here complaining about alimony and about child support. They're complaining about it right now. Because what they want to do is they want to use you. They want to use your body to create children, to use your body to do labor. They want to do all of that stuff. And then when all is said and done, they want you to leave with nothing. They want to enslave you into a marriage for decades until your youth is gone and that your reproductive powers are diminished. And then they want to kick you out onto the street as a form of their punishment.
Is upset with the entire world because she did not hit the genetic lottery. Okay. She's successful. She's in movies. She's in television. She's doing all of these wonderful things. But at the end of the day, it is always going to boil down to one simple
This
truth.
is the reason why a lot of men end up marrying somebody who's a maid but not a friend.
Bro, I'm gonna throw some your way, and I want you to answer that.
This is the reason why she's washing your clothes. She's doing everything that you want her to do, but you don't want to talk to her. She easily irritates you because you don't even like her.
That's what I want to get to. Thank you for going there.
You don't even like her.
Bro, I've talked to several married men who told me that they don't like their wives. I asked them, well, are you at least friends with your wife? You know, like, friends.
I bet they do. I bet they do everything for them, though. They do everything for them, though.
Can I say something?
You make enough money to marry a maid. I mean, to hire a maid. I mean, and then marry a friend, right?
Wow.
If you want, if that's what you want, and so what you really want is somebody to cater to your egos.
And you're broken.
A loss of freedom. I'm all about freedom, and marriage takes all of it away. And if you want to be, I look at marriage as slavery. I don't believe in living. Yeah, I don't believe in living for other people. I believe in happiness, and you can start a business with a partner. You don't have to get married and tie your life to them. So with you, I agree with you. If you were to live with a companion or have a life partner, I'm in total agreement not to get the government involved, because once you outgrow somebody, you should be able to break free and go your separate ways. Why do you have to go through hoops and hurdles to break away from somebody? Because that's slavery. Shackle and chains, that's slavery. So marriage, I'm totally against.
Marriage isn't working because we've forgotten that the origin of marriage saw women legally as property. A human being was seen as an economic contract. Once society shifted to owning land, everything became about making sure things were transferable and inheritable. Before this, the concept of owning land did not exist, as people could not fathom owning Mother Nature.
Women don't fathom owning water and Mother Nature. Men want to own everything, including people.
This is the moment where a woman's body became regulated. You need to make sure that the sons she births are the bloodline of the father.
We have been lied to so much as women and as a society. I'm just going to say right here that if anybody watches Lauren Lake Paternity Court and they're trying to find out the paternity of a baby and that baby's father is dead, what they will do is they will test the blood of the mother. They don't test the blood of the father of the deceased man. Not just because most of the time they can't find them and they don't know who their dads are, but because the bloodline comes through the mother. It is matrilineal. Do research on this. Do whatever you want to do. They can find out who the father of a baby is only through the mother. That is why they don't test the father or worry about even finding him, because most of the time when those people go to the court, the mother is in the courtroom, not the father. So they're going to test that mother because that's who they're supposed to test.
Pass his inheritance onto them. So a woman's body, her labor, her fertility all become central assets. Under English common law, a married woman has no separate legal existence. A husband and wife were considered one person, and that person was the husband.
And this is why you see conservative Christian men trying to take away women's voting rights and only have one vote per house, and that would be the husband's vote.
Could not own property, sign contracts, or control wages. This doctrine traveled around the world. Taking a husband's last name communicated that a woman was now under a husband's authority, and that any children belonged to his lineage, and property flowed through his name. This institution was not built on equality. Equality is now being forced into it. Modern marriage is now trying to retrofit intimacy and romance and autonomy into a system that was never designed for it. And maybe this explains all the tension we are seeing.
Is going viral because she said marriage is like slavery. And I want to just say that nobody's going to marry her, right? So we have a generation of bitter black women like her that are trying to contaminate younger women from actually wanting marriage and love and relationships and the things our grandparents experienced.
Y'all's grandmas are online saying exactly what Leslie is saying. Like, these men can say nobody wants Leslie all they want to, but if y'all go back and look at some of my videos, and I know a whole lot of other people who are showing the same videos of y'all's grandmas telling y'all not to get married, telling y'all how they didn't like your grandpa, they was forced to stay with your grandpa because of the laws, etc., etc.
Parents, because they 20, 30-year marriages, and they're teaching young women to be HOs. They're teaching women to be sluts. They're teaching women to be prostitutes.
They're always going to deflect and call you hoes and prostitutes because that's what they are. But a lot of women out here don't even want to date or be married or have sex. So how are they hoes and prostitutes? And it's like, I don't know why they always use this hoe and prostitute thing like they don't like hoes and prostitutes. They love hoes and prostitutes. So why are y'all trying to make women think that being a hoe or a prostitute is a bad thing when y'all shown us that y'all love hoes and prostitutes, along with virgins, along with turtles and dolphins and turkeys and monitor lizards and whatever else you can stick your thing in?
And they're teaching women to give your body to 100 different men, so that by the time you're her age, she probably done had sex with her body count is probably through the roof. Like, Leslie Jones' body count is probably higher than every hand on my hands and feet. Right. And so she's teaching a generation of women to exploit themselves, to basically be OnlyFans, to be strippers, to not have a desire to want to be married. There is nothing wrong with wanting to be married. There's nothing wrong with finding a man that you want to spend the rest of your life with and deciding that you want to marry them. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with saying, I want to find my high school sweetheart and I want to stay married to them forever, or having desire to love. This is what our grandparents did. Because by the time you get older, no man's going to want you, see Vivica Fox and a lot of these women that get older and then they want to settle down. No, by that time, nobody wants to settle down with you. Nobody wants to settle down with you at 50 years old and 60 years old after you done had children and you done been used like an old tire, right? And that's what Leslie Jones is saying. And so she don't have to worry about nobody wanting to marry her. The way her aggressiveness, she's masculine, she's toxic, she's just everything that men run from.
We don't have to take shit off them men like they did. They had to stay with them. And when you see them up in the paper where they celebrate the 50th anniversary, me and my sister were teenagers, we said, that woman doesn't put up with a whole lot of shit. And that old man sitting there grinning like he getting a credit for it, like he been a good husband. As he done did that woman every kind of way. She got away with it, but she better not do nothing.
So it was more they just really just they just dealt with it.
Yeah, and they go out with their chest stuck out. Like they done all this and that. They done beat the woman, stayed out all night. And back in them days, they had a girlfriend. Time they get paid, they wouldn't go home. They were going buying young women like buying groceries.
Right, and it wasn't really no gossip. It was a secret.
Yeah.
Y'all put stuff. They put stuff under the rug.
Yeah, they sure did. A lot of stuff I didn't tell. I still ain't told.
Right.
And ain't gonna tell.
Yep.
I'm ashamed to tell it. Then a lot of people say, well, you stayed with him. They just don't know. They wasn't in my shoes.
Yeah.
You don't get 5 kids, go out the door with a string of 5 kids, stair step, and go run and get no help. You ain't getting no help. Everybody else is trying to survive too. And the ones ain't trying to survive. Some of them don't want to see you do good nowhere. Some of them glad to see you get old man treat you any kind of way. And they be the very one to be after. Yeah. I got this man, he got a big house and a Cadillac and a good job. When I told my sister that, she said, yeah, try to take it. You'll find out every bit of it belongs to the wife and kids. You ain't getting nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But they bait them women up, make them think they gonna get all that. And women used to be stupid. Oh, I got me a man. He married up. He got a new car, a new house. What you crazy? If I bragging for you, ain't getting none of it. And open them old billfold and put 100 on a whole stack of ones or something. Oh, he got a billfold packed full of money. You ain't getting none of that either. They just bait you up, make you run after it. And they should run after men thinking they get some money. More players know how to do it. This one man said they go out there in them old zoot suits, more broke down hats, and more Stetson shiny shoes, and put a bunch of bills on a big bill or two.
Mm-hmm.
What you want, I buy anything you want. The little gals be running up, they don't get nothing. They
Right.
get the short end of the stick.
And so
And they be going around laughing about it.
So really, them marriages, what they call the grandparents, lasted because they also the parents of them was against they leaving and divorcing.
And they were religious. They didn't believe in the sin to get a divorce.
Sa mga single na wala pang jowa.
Don't marry.
Don't marry? Oh, that's the best advice I've heard. Why, Mama? Why?
Don't put over your head a burden.
Oh, burden.
What's the key to staying married for 60 years? Like, I don't understand how you stay with one man for 60 years. Like, how do you just have one man for 60 years?
Well, just because I stayed with a man for 60 years doesn't mean that that's the only one I had.
Well, it does mean that because that was your husband. When you married, you don't have other men.
Because I'm married to a man doesn't mean that I can't sleep with another man.
It doesn't mean that? I thought when you married, Mom, you're not supposed to have nobody else.
I didn't say that's what you're supposed to do. What I'm saying, if you married and you're having a little hard time, you meet somebody, become friends, you might start dating.
And then what do you do about the husband?
What do you do about it? What you been doing all along? You come home. If you're the one that cook dinner, you cook dinner, and she might say, "Oh, honey, I'll be right back. I gotta go." You say, "Okay." Go put your clothes on and go where you want to go.
So what Granny is trying to say is that you are not putting my box in captivity. I may be with you for 60 years, but my box is going to be free Just like you out there slanging dick in the streets.
For a man is just maintaining access to a lady's body. To making sure they always have access to that because they need it. Because they will go crazy without access to a lady's body. They're extremely borny. All the way up until the day they die. Just borny, borny, borny. So marriage is to make sure that you stay and sleep in his bed and he always has access to a lady's body. He's done trying to find like what kind of hot lady I can get that was cool. Now what other kind of hot lady I can get. He can't get the hot women anymore, so he's settling down and getting married to you. It's not an honor. It's not an accomplishment. You're literally just a free Bex worker when you get married.
I would much rather go 100 by myself than 50-50 with somebody else. Instead of being in a constant state of fear, a constant state of scarcity, a constant state of survival mode with somebody. I would rather thrive by myself, be at peace with myself. I want to be solo from attachments, solo from the ego, solo from manipulation and possession over someone else. That's a game that I don't want to play in. I don't want to play in this emotional game. I want to be centered with my emotions, by my emotions being at peace instead of anger, jealousy, and envy because I'm tied to somebody else in this entanglement with somebody else. A wedding ring just leads to suffering.
One reason that I've never wanted to be married is because it's very clear that marriage and relationships with women are affirmative action for men. Most men in relationships are relying on a woman completely for their basic needs. They are completely dependent on the women around them for little stuff. They can't even make their own doctors and dentist appointments. Shoot, most of them can't even pay household bills on their own. And y'all feel like I'm missing out on something. Most of them would suffer greatly in life if they didn't have a woman to leech off of and to basically have a parasitic attachment to. Relationships with men are affirmative action for men.
Women are awakening at an unprecedented scale. That's why you now hear men are being left behind. Here is what's really going on. For thousands of years, women's bodies were controlled by laws, religions, and families. Women were burned alive for their intuition, for standing out. Women's emotional or intimate needs were ignored or ridiculed. This is the actual history. So why do women have more of a voice now? Because women have started to stand in their truth, in their heart, in their divine feminine essence. Women have chosen to rise up and to bring balance to a world lost in disconnection. The rise of the feminine will force men to learn how to relate to power with the feminine and not power over the feminine. The rise of the feminine is the return of true balance and love.
It could be done on your end to try to make this work would be to go back and try to mend your relationships with your family and try to get back to some of the roots and values that were instilled in you and how you grew up. I feel like you're searching for something that you haven't found that maybe is trying to take the place of that. And I don't know if there is a replacement.
The faith and the world that I grew up in was a world built for men, that worked for men. And to tell me that I need to go back to a culture and a faith and a belief that told me that I was worth nothing without a husband, that in a relationship I just need to submit and say yes and cook 3 meals a day and praise God and it would all be fine. I don't think you understand the privilege you have to look at me and tell me I need to go back to that because it served you.
Y'all will notice this big push for Christianity in America. They're trying to put it in the schools. They're trying to go to the college campuses and teach girls to be Christians and to submit to God and your husband. It's because they want slaves. That is the only reason they're pushing for everybody to go back to biblical and family values or nuclear values, because each man is able to have his own personal in-home slave. Like, if we are not going to have a matriarchy, which we are, this system is going to fall really, really quick, because women are waking up. They are woke, and that is not what this government wants. They are trying to demonize the term woke. They are trying to once again demonize black people, black women. Black women. I'm gonna say black women. And they are trying to keep women from rising. I'm only focused on women over here. They're trying to keep women from coming together and rising, because once that happens, the system will fall, because women are at the bottom, specifically black women. The system will fall once women stop doing all this unpaid labor for the patriarchy and to help capitalism. Everything will fall. The men cannot do it without women. And if women woke up and saw that, it's over.
Will obey their boss and call it a career. But when it's time to obey their husband, all of a sudden, it's oppression.
Okay, sit down, shut the fuck up. I'm gonna explain this one more time. We all listen to our bosses because they pay us every 2 weeks. There are set hours, there are benefits, PTO, we can unionize, and if it's toxic, we can leave. So let me ask you, what is the competitive market rate for submission? Is there overtime pay for emotional labor? If no, why are you talking like an employer?
But what if a man is telling you what to do because he wants what's best for you?
Well, that's not his decision.
But how come the boss at work can tell you what to do and you're just going to listen to it no matter what?
Okay, let me ask you this. Can she submit a complaint for a third-party review of your behavior? Are you prepared to compensate her for any emotional distress under your watch? No? Then you want authority without liability, meaning you want a slave.
Corporation, your boss is going to say, show up at 6 a.m., at 7 a.m., wear this. But if a guy's like, hey, I don't want you to go out in public with your ass hanging out, that's somehow an issue.
You so fucking stupid when you talk.
If women were naturally submissive, they would have f***ing submitted by now. God knows we have taken every measure to make women just obey, and they just keep, like the Terminator, getting back up and fighting again and again and again. If anything, patriarchy has conditioned men to be more submissive, because men will fall in line. Men will fall in line. Men do exhibit discipline much more so than women. Like, you know, I've seen countless Manosphere podcasts talking about how we just cannot train these hoes. Men will sign up into armies more willingly than women when they're not conscripted. They will sign up to be part of ICE, whereas it takes so much violence, both emotional, physical, and psychological, upon women to even try to get them to submit, and these bitches keep getting back up.
So there are young people watching who might be wanting to get married. What would you say to them? Don't get married.
No.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, if the person you're talking to ever responds to you that way, just know that you have said the dumbest thing that person has ever heard.
Or that person themselves is dumb and male-centered and a pick-me.
That's not an invitation to keep trying to validate the insane thing that you just said. That's an invitation to maybe pause and rethink.
So now it is considered insane to not want to get married. To want to stay single and child-free, people are considering women to be insane. This is where the Salem witch trials began. Women just being women, wanting to do what they wanted to do, being free, not messing with anybody, and people labeling them insane.
But just a couple of points. If you have to make crap up to make it sound like you live in an oppressive society, you don't live in an oppressive...
But you're not going to prove that she's making this up. You're not going to talk to women on the streets or interview women. Are you going to talk to women in your family? Are you going to look up any stats? What are you going to do to prove that she's making it up, lady?
Second of all, if someone says something to you like this, it's not because they're trying to protect you from being miserable. It's because they're completely miserable and they don't want you to have a better life than they do. It's completely self-serving.
The most dangerous person by far that you will ever meet.
Who's the most dangerous person you'll ever meet?
By orders of magnitude more than anybody else. Ready, off.
Okay, I don't know.
Her husband.
I was going to say... okay.
Men are women's biggest predators. That's why we choose the bear. And now as women have more financial freedoms and are able to gain education, able to start businesses, and they're able to be on their own, the choice of marriage, cohabitating with a male partner, getting pregnant by them, and creating a nuclear family is just something more and more women are not choosing. The whole ploy of romance and this idea that men are the protectors and the providers, and then tying women's hands behind their back, not allowing them the chance to thrive and survive on their own. Force them to be in a relationship with the other half of humans that are most likely to harm them. This other half of humans are also the ones.
There's a lot of married women that wish they could come home to an empty house. And people don't see the behind the scenes. You know, my parents, everyone that knew them, father's a great guy, they would say, you know. Behind closed doors, that was literally the devil himself. You never know what is going on, so I would say never glamorize something.
Hold up. That one you talking about, I don't know why a man wouldn't want to be with me. Maybe I got the wrong person.
I don't understand why you wouldn't want a woman like me. I am successful. I'm rich. I can fight. I'm sick of men telling me, oh, well, you know, you hardcore. Yes, I am. What you bringing to the table? I am the table.
We could have been a good couple. We could have had something special. But you one crazy ass bitch.
I will say it. I love men.
Somebody lies. Yeah. Now somebody, I don't know who, but I'm telling you, somebody's lying.
The truth is, she does want to be married, and she wants to be happy. But she's convinced herself that working for a man and being with a man would make her miserable and unhappy. And since she would be unhappy, and since she don't want marriage, she's going to convince other women that they should want marriage and they'd be unhappy too, loving a man. Again, this is why you shouldn't listen to women, because they'll keep you single too. Untouchable game.
Everybody has to live with the consequences of their actions. I always suggest when listening to people, you look into facts, you look into stats, you look into polls. You don't just go off of their opinions of what is going on in their personal life and in their little circle, their bubble. You look at what women are saying as a whole, and you look at what is going on with women globally. I can't just take the word of people who are saying, oh, women are bitter, they're mad, they're angry. Okay, that's their opinion. But if women are bitter, mad, and angry, you should be talking to those bitter, mad, and angry women to see why they're bitter, mad, and angry instead of just brushing them off. That's why there is a male loneliness epidemic, because these men are telling you not to listen to the women who are telling you the truth. These men are telling you not to listen to men who are out here telling you about them and telling the truth. So use your wisdom when it comes to listening to anybody. Don't just take their word. Look into it. Dig into the history of marriage. Dig into the history of whatever the topic is. Read about it. Research about it. Don't just go along to get along. That makes you a follower. That you're not a leader if you just listen to anybody telling you that women are just mad. No, it wouldn't be movements like the 4B movement. It wouldn't be birth rates dropping globally. It wouldn't be women forming all women communities. If women were just out here lying, it wouldn't be over 70% of women divorcing. You got to look deeper into it. It's not just a surface level thing. Women care. Women who are saying stuff like this care about you. And a lot of people don't know that I'm married. If you're new here, I'm married. I have been married for 20 years, together like 23, 24. I got 2 boys. There are a lot of men who think I hate men, who think I hate boys. Like I have told y'all before, anybody who's speaking the truth right now and anybody who is giving facts that can be proven is going to be hated. Is going to be persecuted, basically, and burned at the stake. figuratively and literally. So just don't take my word for it. You don't have to touch the hot stove. You don't have to get burnt.
Being married benefits the man so much more than it benefits the woman. It's not even close. Society has it backwards. All these women are like, when is he going to propose? It's like, don't be in a rush. At a baseline level, the man has everything to gain and nothing to lose. Everything about his life gets easier. Grocery shopping, cleaning, doing his laundry. Not that the woman's going to do all that, but she's going to end up doing some of it. But there's like side benefits. Hey, who's in my shower? Oh, that beautiful woman. Every married guy is just looking for an excuse to go in the bathroom when his wife's in the shower. Hey, did I leave my keys in the soap dish? It's cool having him around. So let me tell you this. No woman's like, hey, let me go burst in on my husband in the shower. Can't wait to go see his danglers. That's not what women value. They value listening. Pro tip. Go listen to your wife talk while she's in the shower. It's what they call a win-win. Women tell men to go to the doctor. Men live longer. When women get married, they live shorter. Being around a man is stressful. I'm around me all the time. It's a nightmare. Hey, well, don't men make money? Sort of. But now it's like, men like play video games and online gamble. Women are starting to do the jobs that make all the money now. Ladies, you're getting nothing out of this deal. Yeah, he's in charge of car stuff, but like what guy in 2025 knows car stuff? I pretend to know car stuff. Gotta rotate these mirrors. And like, yeah, women are getting awesome marriages all the time. I'm just saying, the benefits are super skewed, and I don't think we talk about it like that. Choose wisely.
Leslie Jones literally said she believes marriage is slavery.
I think marriage is legalized slavery. Man is, especially if he's expecting you to be a trad wife, just might as well pull out a whip.
What I don't understand from commentary like this is the idea that women marry men and they have a wonderful courtship of dating and the woman is independent and then they get married and the man is like, you bitch, make me sandwich. I mean, does it happen? Sure, but it's so incredibly rare.
So again, facts over feelings. If you were to take a survey of all the women around the globe, not just in the United States, how many women would tell you that their man expects them to make him dinner or lunch or to cook for him on a daily basis versus how many women will tell you that their men don't expect that and their men do all of that for themselves? Do you think it's more likely that men are just doing everything for themselves and not wanting the women to do none of that or not expecting that? Is that more likely?
I think it really demeans women. We have agency. We date men and we are perfectly able to decide if they are worthy of marriage. We're then perfectly capable of deciding if we want to step into more traditional roles or we want to stay in that hyper-independent state with a partner. Like, it's 2026. I rarely see cases of men domineering women in a way that's like a complete shock and 180 from the way they acted while dating.
Well, she's obviously not listening to women. She's not on Reddit. She doesn't follow Bourbon Bougie. She doesn't follow feminist content. She's just not listening to women. She's one of those people that if I don't see it, it's not happening. She just said it out of her own mouth. I don't see, like, she's not looking for it. It's not in her, like, inner circle. She's not looking for it. She's not trying to understand why women are saying this.
Dating. It's funny because I think people say this thinking like, I'm a big feminist or saying marriage is slavery, but it's actually really one of the most demeaning things that you could say about women because it says that they don't have any agency. This was such a funny find. So a few months ago, Leslie Jones appeared on the Kelly Clarkson show and she said this.
I don't understand why you wouldn't want a woman like me. I am successful, I'm rich, I can fight.
I think they may know why no man wants to be with you if you believe marrying him would make you his slave. That would be really weird.
I find it funny when people say that nobody wants you to a woman, a man doesn't want you. I'm like, do y'all realize who and what these men are out here sleeping with? I'm sure Leslie could get a man at any time if she wanted to just like sleep with a man. She could probably even be with the man. It's not going to be a good man, good man, quote unquote, good man. But Leslie could probably get a boyfriend if she wanted to. She would just have to lower her standards like most women to get that man and to get that boyfriend. And she knows that.
Two reasons that men and women differ. One is cultural, the other is biological. And if you minimize the cultural differences, you maximize the biological differences. On average, men are more interested in things and women are more interested in people.
I think
one thing that people never take into account is how much of women's behavior is artificially created through socialization. Unfortunately, women are like domesticated animals. When you limit 50% of the population to a limited amount of roles for 1,000+ years, what do you think the outcome of that is going to be? If it is true that the average woman prefers to be a domestic, nurturing, social creature, we have to contribute it to the fact that a large part of the female population for thousands of years has only been allowed to contribute to the role of social society. And when you ignore the fact that that has been done because of biology, then you're making an anti-intellectual claim. Even now, we're still socializing women into domestic and social roles, even when they express interest in science, in building, or whatever.
And this is why women get told, we don't care about your education, whenever they're talking about their education or, their minds. Men will tell them we don't care because they're so used to women being in subservient slave positions. When women do anything that excites them, the men don't care because what women are doing does not benefit that man. Even though, yes, it does. When you get married to a man, if you got a good education and you make money, that does benefit him. But because we are in a patriarchy, they cannot have that because they feel like you're competing with them, and then they don't like that. So they will leave you a baby mama because they are pissed off that you're doing better than them or competing with them, or their ego will get to them and they'll tell you, I want you to be a stay-at-home wife and quit your career and just have my babies. And when you do that, they'll cheat on you and leave you with the kids. And now you're out of the workforce and out of the career that you went to school for so many years. And now you have to figure out how you're going to survive and not be homeless. Like, how do you make up for the time that you set yourself down to do what this man wanted you to do? How do you make up for that?
Right? Almost everything that someone believes that they know about women is forced socialization. Forced socialization in a way that male socialization simply does not exist.
Expecting you to be a trad wife, you might as well pull out a whip and a chain.
Wow. So there are young people watching who might be wanting to get married. What would you say to them?
Don't.
When I heard Leslie Jones give this advice to women, I was pretty shocked because she's never been married, not to my knowledge. And so how can you tell a woman not to get married?
So this is why what she just said pisses me off. When people aren't married, this is what people will say. You've never been married, so how can you talk about marriage or tell people not to get married? I'm married. And when I tell people I'm married, they say, what do y'all think they say? Well, you're married, so why are you telling people not to get married and don't get married? So whether you're married or not, they will tell you, you can't tell people not to you can't tell people what to do. So I don't know. You don't have to be married to see what is going on in marriages globally. You just don't. You don't have to get married to see that marriages are not working out, that 70% of women are getting divorced, that men are cheating, that women are not on the winning team. You don't have to get married to see that. All you have to do is talk to women, past, present, and whatever. Just talk to women. Just look at women globally. Like I said, you don't have to touch the stove to get burnt.
And just because your father gave you that advice doesn't mean that you should go around giving all women that advice. What broke my heart even more is when I saw women in the comment section who had not been married or had been married saying that it was the worst decision of their life and telling other women not to get married based off of their experience. We sign up to be a wife and we have this picture in our head of how wife looks, how household looks, how husband looks. And those pictures, those stories that we tell ourselves could be furthest from the truth. You build that up and then you try to play that role and put yourself in that position knowing that it's going to take away from you and strip you. And then you have a problem with the position that you signed up for and that you created for yourself.
This is also true. You sign up for it and women think that they can change these men once they get married, and the men never change and the women change all the time, and that is a problem.
This is just women. I'm not saying all women. Sometimes we go above or beyond and do way too much until we're burnt out as wives, and ain't nobody asked us to do that. The other thing is you can also wind up saying yes to the wrong man. That man was not chosen to be your husband, but because you were excited in the moment that he was bringing a ring and wanted to wife you, you decided to say yes. And God didn't choose him to be your husband. So now you spend years with a man that wasn't your husband in the first place, and then those years are miserable. There are some men who cannot lead a household. There are some men who are not great husbands.
Well, according to stats and according to most women, most men cannot lead households, and most men are not great husbands. Like, all y'all have to do is talk to the women in your family, whether they've lived with a man, dated a man, married a man. Ask them about all of their relationships and why they broke up, what happened, if it was their fault or if it was something the man did. And they will tell you. If they're broke up, most women will tell you the truth of what happened. Most women won't tell you the truth about their current relationship because they're protecting that man still and they're lying. But yeah, after they get divorced or break up or whatever, they'll tell you all the bad stuff he did. And most women even say, well, I wasn't perfect. I did A, B, and C. But see if her A, B, and C is even comparable to what those men were doing. She might have messed up and did something, but see if it's comparable to what most women are saying about men.
Just what it is. It does not mean that marriage is the problem. It means the problem could be the man that you're with. It means the problem could be you. It means the problem can be all of these things, but we will never admit that. Marriage is also not about you. It's not about your husband. It is a greater sacrifice for the purpose and the will of God.
Yeah, I might be a bad wife because I'm not sacrificing nothing.
And once we get the I out of our mouths, we will understand what the real purpose of marriage is.
Every married woman I know is deceiving herself to some degree, doing a whole lot of mental gymnastics and self-gaslighting to tell herself, everything's okay, I'm okay, living with the enemy. I hardly know any married woman who can be real with herself about her situation, not to mention real with anyone else. You have to be a little bit crazy to live with your oppressor and stay sane.
Leslie Jones is saying that marriage is akin to slavery.
Would you be a trad wife is what I'm asking.
Trad wife meaning like I'd be at home and no.
Like making Oreos from scratch.
I don't absolutely not.
Why not?
Because that's not who the I am. And my daddy didn't raise me like that.
To be a trad wife.
To be anybody's wife. My dad used to literally say that to me. I didn't raise you to be somebody's wife.
That's so brave.
I don't know if it's brave or smart. Most of the people that I know that's gotten married are divorced now.
And so, really, that's an indictment of the institution.
Yeah.
Technically, it's an indictment of the choices that those people made. But, you know, here we go. Like, it's like saying, like, I live in a town where there have been 5,000 car accidents, or in, like, a world where there's all these car accidents. It's an indictment of driving. No, not really.
Not really.
But let's continue.
I think marriage is legalized slavery.
You do.
Let's walk that. I'm sorry. Let's
really, that's an indictment of the institution.
Yeah. I think marriage is legalized slavery.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Say more, because if I'm thinking about slavery and I'm thinking about marriage, there are two different images that come
Absolutely
into my head.
not. I don't think, I don't know how you don't. A man is, especially if he's expecting you to be a trad wife, he might as well pull out a whip and a chain.
Wow.
It rides the line of serious and
How do
comedy.
we get younger women to see that heterosexual marriage is a raw deal before they do it? Really what you need to do is ask them some more probing questions about what their beliefs actually are and what their assumptions are. Ask them what appeals to them about marriage and how they think marriage is going to benefit them. Ask them what they think a husband should bring to a marriage and what they think a wife should bring to a marriage. And if they see any inequalities when they think about that a bit more, you can use this line of questioning as an opportunity to then disabuse a young woman of her assumptions about what it actually is and what it is going to involve. Young women especially get fed this narrative that marriage is the final stage of adulthood, that it will confer social status, that it is the ultimate expression of romance, and that being picked or favoured by a man is the best validation of their existence on the planet. And none of these things is true. Heterosexual marriage, in addition to de facto domestic cohabitation with a man, tricks women into facilitating men's domestic and social success.
Women were naturally submissive. They would have submitted by now. God knows we have taken every measure to make women just obey, and they just keep, like the Terminator, getting back up and fighting again and again and again. If anything, patriarchy has conditioned men to be more submissive, because men will
To
fall
other
in
men.
line. Men will fall in line. Men do exhibit discipline much more so than women. Like, you know, I've seen countless Manosphere podcasts talking about how we just cannot train these hoes. Men will sign up into armies more willingly than women when they're not conscripted. They will sign up to be part of ICE, whereas it takes so much violence, both emotional, physical, and psychological, upon women to even try to get them to submit, and these bitches keep getting back up.
Now, men need marriage more than women need it. The things that men get from marriage, the sort of stereotypical things, are still really important for the man. But the things stereotypically a woman was getting from the marriage, she now doesn't actually need that stuff from a man. She can kind of get that herself because society's shifted where it's not a case that the woman stays at home and raises the kids all the time. Now the woman's got her own money, her own independence, she can leave you.
And this just proves that women don't need men, they need resources. So men created a fake resource called money and hoarded it and made the laws to where women would need them. They rigged the game so women would need them because it's not natural for women to be in a nuclear household with one man. It's natural for women to be in community and not have to go grocery shopping. They would all grow their own food, make their own clothes. Just study it. Just go back to history. Money is man-made, marriage is man-made, the nuclear family is man-made, and now it's fallen because, like the lady before said, women are fighting. Women are fighting not to be oppressed. So that's not natural. If anybody is fighting against something, it's not natural for them to be in that position. Men are not fighting to follow other men, so it's natural for them to follow.
I think that's true. For a man, a wife may be the only confidant. That's not true for women. Women have much better social support. But men and women both equally need high quality relationships, which
I think men and women need high quality relationships with the same sex. I think women need high quality relationships with women, like-minded women. I think that's what makes it high quality. And I feel like men need the same thing, and they need to be like-minded, but not like in a hive mind like what we see now with like MAGA and the red pill and black pill. People need to be educated. Like it's going to be hard for us to be in relationships with each other, period. If you're not educated and if you don't know what is going on, and if you don't start like breaking your mindset and remolding your mind for something new. We are headed into a new world order where they are trying to go backwards. But the key is everybody is going to have to push forward and try to create something new and not go back like what this world and like this government is trying to get us to do.
right, conclusion, really. Both men and women really need committed, loving relationship. But, guys can survive in a relationship that is not as good, and they can get a lot out of it.
He's telling on themselves. Men will stay in relationships that are horrible and they get a lot out of it. Even if you're miserable and you don't want to be there, if you're suffering, if you're suicidal, the men will stay because they are still getting sex. They are still getting free services. Like Leslie said, you are still being a slave because of what you were taught, regardless of what he's doing to you.
Whereas women can't.
They need somebody oftentimes, though this is changing, but they need somebody to clean. They need somebody to do their laundry.
Listen to them.
To listen to them, to help them sometimes solve work problems, or at least listen to their stresses.
Which is free therapy and emotional labor. That puts a mental load on women, especially when they have so many other things to do than be his free therapist.
Not safe for women in this country, nay, this world, to be in relationships with men and to have children. There are politicians who are actively trying to kill women by taking away their access to medically necessary care. They are letting women die on their watch, and they don't care. Then they want to take away no-fault divorce. They want to keep you in your unhappy, unsafe marriages, forcing you to have more babies while they simultaneously take away more rights. They don't have a workforce that is set up to benefit you. They don't have paid leave that is set up to benefit you. Every system is actively working against women and mothers in this country. It is not beneficial for them. It is not safe for them. Women are dying because they are unable to receive medically necessary care because we have people in charge who don't know what they're talking about, who want to make Project 2025 a reality. They want to keep you in the home, they want to keep you uneducated, and they want to...
Y'all, they literally had us out here waxing, shaving, tanning, dieting, exercising, smiling, just so we would attract a man, so we could keep men in power on the backs of the lifelong emotional, mental, and physical labor of women. They literally had us out here believing there was no other fulfilling life than to get married to a man and have children, that there was no other way to have worth or experience a fulfilling life besides shackling yourself as a slave to a man. They really had us convinced. And look at all the industries that capitalize off of that. Makeups, cosmetics, fitness. The list goes on. This might be the biggest scam of all.
So in my conclusion, I'm going to say that Leslie Jones said nothing wrong. She said nothing that millions of women aren't out here saying. I think that more celebrity women should come out, especially if they're feminists and they have feminist views, because they can have a wider reach. They can reach audiences that people like me can't, and they have a big influence, whether they're somebody who people would consider to be unattractive or not conventionally attractive like Leslie. And just imagine if Leslie was considered to be attractive, the effect this would have on people globally, hearing like an attractive woman say this. So I'm glad that I am seeing more celebrity women speak like this and use terms that we use over here. Women in other countries are feeling this. They are in comment sections. They are in the comments on people's videos that I follow. And this is a sentiment of women globally. So I don't know why these people are looking at her like she's crazy. Like, I don't know why, but if you feel like what she said was wrong and she's crazy, I'm not going to judge you. Like I said, some of us have to touch the stove to get burnt before we learn. Some people got to get burnt 2, 3, 4 times, and that's fine. That's your journey. That's your life. That's what you choose. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to tell you to look into the stats, into the facts, talk to other women. And I am going to warn you that male-centered women, they will lie about their marriages because they are male-centered and they want to protect that man's image at all costs. I've seen it. I've talked about it. That's just what it is. A lot of women who are married and in horrible marriages, they're actually the real haters because they want people to get into marriages and to suffer like them instead of telling young girls the truth. They feel like if they went through it, they want you to suffer with them, and they're deflecting. A lot of them are deflecting. They know they're not happy in their marriages, but they don't want you to know that because the world says that you're supposed to have a perfect, happy marriage. And no matter what that man is doing, if he's punching walls, if he's cussing you out, if he's choking you in your sleep, if he's putting pillows over your heads, if he's looking at your little girls, if he's cheating on you and women are calling your house and coming to your door, side chick babies are coming to your door, just all of the things. They are taught to guard that man's image with their life because you're supposed to cover your husband. Your husband is supposed to cover you and you're supposed to cover him, I guess. I don't know. But if that's what you choose to do, I hate that women are still like doing that because of religion. Most of the time it's because of religion. Patriarchy is a whole religious cult, and it just teaches women to be submissive while also teaching men to be submissive to other men. So men are submitting to other men and women are supposed to submit to the weak men who are afraid to not submit to the men above them. So it's just whole system is just messed up. I'm rambling like always, but yes, I do. Even though I'm married, I do agree with Leslie. I am not enslaved. yeah, I don't feel like I'm a slave. I think it depends on the woman. If you choose to, like in my marriage, I choose to be selfish. I choose to be selfish. I've said that before because that is how I protect myself. If I want to do something, I'm going to do it. If my husband tells me that he doesn't like something and it's something that I like, I'm just not going to stop because that's what I want to do. If it's not hurting anybody, I'm going to do it. I didn't set this system up. You know, that's just how I feel. I didn't set it up. So if it benefits me, I'm going to make it do what it do. So y'all get down in the comments. Let me know if you're married, if you ever thought about getting married, or if you're like, hell no, I'm not getting married, because I watch your videos and I watch all the videos like yours and I believe y'all. I've seen what's going on and I believe it. So is that you, or are you just like, whatever, I'm gonna just touch the stove anyway? Get down in the comments, ladies. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.